Thanks to all the speakers for their presentation. And now I will address a question to each speaker and would appreciate getting the answer in maximum 4 minutes. Better to be less. Then I will start with Mr. Lars Lang. From your global overview at Ayumi, okay, how would you see things develop further with regard to geopolitics, trade, and ESG? And what would that mean for marine insurers, and how can they help?
Thank you, Gamal. So what we are daring is to have a look in the crystal ball, right? If I would have a wish, my wish would be that trade remains as free as it was in the previous decade, or say in the previous 2 decades. And us as Ayumi, we are really true believers that international trade and insurance and cross-border business is so diverse that we all lose if we don't make use of the whole picture. So this is where we come from. Having said that, we see a number of setbacks, particularly since the new regime in the US, which is obviously the elephant in the room, since the new regime in the US was introduced. So we see much more bilateral negotiations on tariffs, on trade relations, which was not the case before. We had yesterday your distinguished representative from the International Monetary Fund speaking to us, and this is exactly where we as an international insurance industry would like to see these negotiations done. We see also reluctance when it comes to climate. So I mentioned already the shipping industry has set itself a target some 3 years ago, a binding target at the International Maritime Organization, which is an organization belonging to the United Nations, to decarbonize entirely by 2050. And coming with that, we had an emission trading system already agreed at the International Maritime Organization. That was challenged particularly by the US again. Some 2 weeks ago, there was a deciding meeting, and it had to be postponed. There was no majority in it. And the consequence, of course, could also be that remaining emissions will force clients to buy more local, which wouldn't be in our sense. Nevertheless, we do still believe that globalization will continue, that climate change will prevail over time. There is no alternative in Ayumi's view, and that will go back on a path which will allow us also for the next generations to have a prosper and fostering business. We will deliver our share for that. We as an organization are truly international. I always say, if there's one hope remaining on this planet, then it's Ayumi. We are very small, but we really listen to each other. We really work together, whether this is Egypt or Latin America or Europe or Far East. We work together on solutions, and that is what I would wish for international trade as well.
Then my next question to Dr. Marcus. You spoke about the shift from reaction to preservation through parametric solution and tokenization. What key challenges must insurers overcome to scale these parametric models in emerging markets where data and tech infrastructure may still be limited?
Thank you. Very interesting question. And data is definitely the key driver which is needed to make parametric solutions up and running. Even I outlined that these are solutions, or these solutions are available, and we are working on them. I'm not saying that you now have to 100% transform your business into that direction and just say, okay, parametric is the next big thing. To a certain point, this is often discussed on conferences, like AI is also, parametric is a very hyped topic in the insurance industry. There is a reason. why. But on the flip side, I would say the prerequisites have been there and in place, otherwise it just does not make sense. And what I also don't like is to deliver solutions to a question no one ever asked. So means for me, if there is a demand on something which is hard to cover, as we have heard in some space like cyber, for example, or areas of climate change combat, then parametric might be an opportunity if you have enough data in place to say, okay, rethink the whole system and maybe we need a new way of solution. And if the prerequisites given, why not doing it in a way like parametric, being enabled by use of technology. So cutting a long story short, yeah, we need the data in first instance, and then we can dive into parametric, but it just makes sense if there's really an ask and a demand for that, and I would not shift just to make it cool, let's say so.
Thank you very much. Dr. Salam Musa, if you could give one piece of advice to insurers, yes, facing increasing interconnected risk, what could it be?
Okay. First, let me thank you for organizing this session, and thank you for your question. Actually, I'm a compliance consultant, and I work as a VP for a global RegTech company. And I can tell you that you can have the most advanced systems in the world, but if your leadership doesn't inspire and your culture doesn't empower, those systems stop the moment pressure hits. So my advice would be prepare yourself, be ready, and stop waiting for calm seas and start building a stronger ship. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Momen, okay, my question is, given the growing complexity of emerging risks like cyber, geopolitical conflict, where do you see the legal and regulatory framework needing the most urgent evolution to support insurers in managing these threats effectively?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I think I touched upon the answer to some extent to the presentation, and I think the important aspect is for the insurance companies to either start adopting some of the model clauses in the emerging risk, so by being up to date to what's being issued abroad. So for example, I know that Lloyd's, for example, have been using a certain policy condition which is related to the differentiation between a war-related cyber risk and a pure cyber risks. And at the same time, I think the regulators should be intervening by issuing up-to-date guidelines, whether weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, on how certain clauses that are prevalent in the market should be defined and what's covered and what's not. Not only that, so this is the part before a dispute arises. I think after the dispute arises, I think you should make sure that you are settling or resolving your dispute in a proper forum. So instead, you can resort to arbitration, especially if there is a multi-jurisdiction aspect or different policies are triggered and there could be some sort of double insurance, and then you have to resort to arbitration, which might be easier. All in all, there should be more engagement between the regulators and the insurers, ensuring periodical training and advising the insurance companies to keep specific part of their capital just to cover any emerging risks that could be unpredictable.
Thank you very much. I think now I will just make the closing remark of the session. I will go briefly on each and every word, where I can say we begin with the global marine perspective from Mr. Lars. And already I think we concluded that marine insurance, as he said, remain committed to keeping culture, supporting global trade, and making the uninsurable insurable. Then if I move to the view of Dr. Marcus, who walked us through the shift from traditional indemnity models to parametric and blockchain-based solution. Yes, I think, yes, he mentioned at the end that logic dictate we use the evolution of data more faster, more bold, fairer. And the challenge now is how fast we can scale it, especially in markets with limited infrastructure like in the emerging markets. Then if I move to Dr. Salam, I think she stressed very well on the fastest recovery firms were not the one with perfect controls, but the one with aligned leadership and culture of accountability. And her conclusion was simple. Compliance is the cost of entry, but culture is the engine of resilience. And then lastly, Mr. Mu'min Alwani, who emphasized on the wording, and then he called for clearer, more standardized wording from regulator, strong sanction screening, quicker arbitration mechanism, and a proactive approach to emerging risk in regulatory capital framework. Lastly, resilience in insurance is no longer achieved by reacting to events. It is achieved by anticipating connections between risks, between legal certainty and market trust, between data infrastructure and product innovation, between geopolitical reality and insurability, between leadership culture and long-term recovery. We are no longer dealing with single risks, but risk ecosystem. And ecosystem require collaboration. So my final message, I think, to all of us, that let us build solutions that are as connected as the risk we face. Let us move from reaction to readiness, from protection to prevention, and from compliance to resilience. Thank you to our distinguished speakers. Thank you very much. Thank to our organizer and for conveying us, and thank for all the audience.